Hey everyone, I wanted to re-upload one of my previous videos with some better audio and a little explanation on how we repaired our fridge if it is experiencing a defrost issue. Full disclosure, I am not an expert in appliance repair or electrical repair, so obviously perform this repair at your own risk. And also, full credit for this repair can go to Stephen L. Ryan, whose blog post is in the video description along with his channel. I'll link right up here. But he's the one that I came across that deserves all the credit for this repair. So first and foremost step you need to take is diagnosing the fridge's problem and then actually confirming that it truly is a defrost issue. Now, again, I'm not an appliance repairman, and I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you how to diagnose your own issue, but I can assure you that there are a ton of videos on YouTube about why a fridge won't defrost, warning signs about that it's having defrost issues, or even what to look for if it is having a defrost issue right now. The first step that I actually performed was replacing the thermostat entirely. There's a bimetal thermostat that's attached in the back, and you can rewire a new thermostat, but of course ends up not being the issue. The issue ultimately ended up being a bad circuit board, or technically a bad relay. But before we jump ahead all the way to that, here's how we determined bad relay. Well, the main reason was the ice in the back of the fridge. This was really the reason we started looking into defrost problems. Sometimes the upper portion of the fridge was a little warmer than normal and the freezer was fine, but because of the fan that's in the freezer that pushes all the air up, we immediately noticed an issue with primarily the noise. So the location of the fan and where the ice is in ours, the ice issue got so bad that the fan actually started hitting the ice block and the fridge would be really loud. You could hear the fan spinning on the ice. So the defrost issue was the buildup of ice. There's not supposed to be any ice back there, so we knew that we had an issue once we started hearing the noises. So the second step is determining how and actually if your fridge has a diagnostic or testing mode. Now, most of the newer fridges that have circuit boards or a digital read or a screen readout in the front usually will have these circuit boards to operate those things, but also the circuit board has to be tied into the defrost portion too. This Whirlpool does have it, and we did find it by doing a search for defrost issues with our model number. Using the model number is key. Here we have the steps: how to enter the service diagnostics mode, how to exit, and then also once you're in the service diagnostics mode, service test number 6 is the defrost heater bimetal test. So it will say 01 equals the bimetal is closed, 02 the bimetal is open. Open meaning bad, closed meaning good. The next step is to run the correct test. Again, reviewing your owner's manual, you'll find the exact test, but for our Whirlpool model, it was test number 6. And really all this test does is it checks the circuitry and will give you a good or bad readout. Basically, it passes or it fails. So essentially, it's checking the circuit board and it's checking the bimetal thermostat. Since I just installed a new thermostat, I knew it was good. So really now this step is to check out the circuit board or the relay. So now that we have a little bit of history behind what we're doing and how we got here, let's jump back into the old video for some audio on exactly what we're going to replace on the relay portion. This retails, gosh, online, it was somewhere around like 360 bucks. I think we found it as low as like 280 bucks. We Googled the model number and you need the main control circuit board. As you can see, there's a few other circuit boards in that refrigerator, but this is the one that we need. It has the relays on it. $481 right now, just for the circuit board. And as we pull it up, that's your relay, the K6 relay that is the culprit. The culprit is this relay, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in a second. But this specific circuit board, I believe the part number's on here, and you can get them from. And again, the purpose of this video is not to go out and Google search the model number for the circuit board. It's to replace the relay on the circuit board to save you a bunch of money. And these relays, which are what failed on our circuit board, these took about a month and a half to get from China. So jumping ahead and avoiding all the audio and video issues here, on the left side, it shows K6. Now, this is the relay that controls the defrost on the fridge. This is the one that ended up being defective. So essentially, this is the one that we have to replace. And you've got K7 over here. Essentially, what the K7 relay does is it controls the lights on the inside of the fridge. Now, there's two different ways you can go about fixing the circuit board. You can take the K7 relay out by melting the solder points on the backside and removing the K7 relay and replacing the K6 relay. But if you do that, you will lose the lights on the inside. So the K7 relay only controls the lights, meaning that if you open your fridge, you're not going to have lights on. But the defrost is more important, obviously, with controlling temperatures. So you can take the K7 relay in the meantime and then order spare relays to replace the K7 so you can get your lights back. So here's where I'm talking about removing the relay. And I used a product that I got on Amazon called Quick Chip. And that allowed me to get the pins and the solder hot enough and stay warm enough, essentially, because there's 5 points that they're attached to. And that allows the chips to be removed because the solder gets cool fairly quickly on these factory boards. Once we swapped the board over, we did another test on the fridge. And it went from a 0.2 to a 0.1, meaning that this relay was now good. The relay itself, we ordered them from, I think it was eBay. They were out of stock of the factory relays. I'll show you the factory relay here. We're going to talk about the different relay types, and essentially the top number is an HF33F, but the second number is the one that we had the biggest issues finding. So they didn't have any of the Z. Let's see, the ZS3F, which is what this one was, but I put a ZS3 with no F on the end, and we just tested it on the circuit board, and the lights came on instantly. So that is everything you need to know about Whirlpool bottom freezer circuit boards when they have a defrost circuit failure. Picked up a pack. I think a pack of 10 of these was like $20 or something like that. It came from China. And as long as you don't mind your fridge being out of commission with no lights for a few weeks or a month, you can save yourself probably $600, I would imagine, with shipping and taxes and a diagnostic tech coming to your house and telling you what's wrong with it. And going through all that. So I'll post credit to the guy that did a whole write-up on this circuit board, which I found on Google. He's the genius behind it and really helped us out. So hope you enjoy the video, guys. Good luck.